What's up everyone, this is All I Talk is Tech, and today I'm going to show you 30 new features in iOS 10. So the first one is you can no longer slide to unlock anymore. Instead, they replaced it with a widget panel that you can now use Spotlight search on. So you can now search apps, which is pretty cool, and you can do this from the lock screen. Although in order to open an app, you do need your password. Next up is called Rest to Open, and you basically just press your finger on the home button and it will unlock the iPhone. This is the replacement for Slide to Unlock. Apple also added a new wallpaper which actually looks really nice, and I really do like this wallpaper. I think it looks cool and it goes well with iOS 10. Also, a new feature is you can now force press on folders to rename them. So I think this is kind of useful, but I don't see if I'm ever going to use it that much. So you can just rename the folder simply by force pressing on the folder. Next up is in the Control Center. So Apple totally redesigned Control Center. They now added a feature where you can swipe and it brings you to this page with music, and it's really cool. So this is what you do to change the song and stuff. It's really cool. And you can now force touch on these icons down here. So for flashlight, you can force press and you now have an option for medium, high, and low. And it's pretty interesting just to see why they did this. So as you can see, I just do that. And then they also added one for calculator, and they also added a few for the other apps. So this next feature is epic, I think. You can now raise your iPhone to unlock it. It's so cool. Next up is this thing called display accommodations. So just go to accessibility, then click on display accommodation, and this is for people who are colorblind or have a hard time seeing different colors and all that. So you can change the color or temperature of your screen, and you can change the intensity. So for some reason I just set my iPhone to become purple, and it's kind of cool but weird at the same time. So I don't know how useful this will be. Next up is Apple added a new animation and transparency to folders and other applications. So this is pretty cool. So as you can see, I'm opening it up and it's slightly quicker and it's just a different look. Next up is in the notification center. You can now clear all notifications just by clicking the little button and then clicking clear. So it's pretty cool. And there's also new haptic feedback when you slide down. Next up is in the music app. You can now force press on an album and it'll allow you to either open it or shuffle or do all those cool features. And you can also force touch on a song, which is pretty cool. So this next feature I think a lot of people are going to like. You are now able to delete Apple's apps. Yes, finally we can do this, but another feature is they switched the cancel and delete buttons, so just don't get tricked by that. Next up is a really cool feature called the magnifier, and basically you can zoom up on icons and stuff or whatever's on your camera, and you can just zoom up on stuff and it looks really cool. So I'm just going to zoom up on my iPods and it just looks really cool, and it's basically a magnifying glass. You can also change the temperature, contrast, brightness, and you can change the filter to white and blue, yellow, grayscale, and all that cool stuff. So it's overall pretty cool, and I really do think a lot of people will enjoy this. This next feature is awesome. It can basically detect if your phone has moisture in the lightning port, and what this will do is it'll basically prevent you from getting shocked or destroying your phone. So in the beginning of this video, I said that Apple basically removed slide to unlock, so now you have a feature called rest to open home basically, and you can switch this to rest your finger to unlock or press to open. So that's what this switch does. You can either switch between the two. This next feature is really cool. You can draw stuff inside the messaging app, sort of like the Apple Watch, and then you can also take photos and then send them over in a new fashion, and it's pretty cool. They also changed up the emojis, added a little bit of shading, and they also added new emojis as well. Also, Apple added a new keyboard sound. So they changed the sound of the keyboard, which is kind of interesting to hear, but I actually do like this a lot better. And the keys have 3 different sounds for the spacebar, back button, and just the keys itself. They also added a new taptic feedback when you turn the phone on silent. And that's about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.